Hi, my name is Anne, and today we're going to read The Snail and the Whale, written by Julia Donaldson and illustrated by Axel Scheffler. Let's read. This is the tale of a tiny snail, lumaca, and a great big grey-blue humpback whale, balena. This is a rock as black as soot, and this is a snail with an itchy foot. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock. Ships. These are ships. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock. And as she gazed, she sniffed and sighed. The sea is deep and the world is wide. How I long to sail, said the tiny snail. Look at all the birds here. These birds are called seagulls. Seagulls, gabbiani. These are the other snails in the flock, who all stuck tight to the smooth black rock, and said to the snail with the itchy foot, "Shh, be quiet, don't wiggle, stay still, stay put." But the tiny sea snail sniffed and sighed, then cried, "I've got it, I'll hitch a ride." And this is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail that looped and curled and said, "Ride wanted around the world." This is the whale who came one night when the tide was high and the stars were bright. A humpback whale, immensely lungo, who sang to the snail a wonderful song of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars, stellar stars, and enormous waves. And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He held it out of the starlit sea and said to the snail, "Come sail with me." So this is the whale, the balena. This is the whale, and it's long, and it's big, it's huge. And what is this? Moon. This is the moon. This is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on his tail to towering icebergs and far-off lands. Look at the penguins and the seals. Do you think it's hot in this area? No, it's cold in this area because they're surrounded by icebergs with fiery mountains and golden sands. Wow, I can see lots of animals here. I see 2 dolphins, 1 long, big whale, a tiny snail, a parrot, a sea turtle, some flying fish, and a monkey. And what's this? Is this an animal? No, it's not an animal. It's a volcano. Here are the waves. Look at the big waves. These are the waves that arched and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed. The tiny snail on the tail of the whale. These are the caves beneath the waves, so now they're under the sea, where colorful fish with feathery fins and sharks with hideous toothy grins swam past the whale and the snail on his tail. Look, what can you see in this picture? I see an octopus. I see fish. I see a starfish and some jellyfish and some sharks and a lobster and lots of corals. This is the sky so vast and high, sometimes sunny and blue and warm, sometimes filled with a thunderstorm, with zigzag lightning, flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. Lightning, fulmine. And as she gazed at the sky, she gazed at the sea, the land, the waves and the caves and the golden sand. She gazed and gazed, amazed by it all. And then she said to the whale, I feel so small. I see a bear here, and an eagle, and mountains. But then came the day the whale lost his way. Oh no, poor whale lost his way. These are the speedboats running a race, zigging and zooming all over the place, upsetting the whale with their ear-splitting roar, making him swim too close to the show. Oh no, poor whale got confused by all the sound made by all these motorboats, and he lost his way. This is the tide slipping away, poor whale. And this is the whale lying beached in a bay. Quick, whale, off the sand, said the little snail. Back to sea. I can't move on land, said the whale. I'm too big. The snail felt helpless and terribly small. Wait, I've got an idea, she cried, and she started to crawl. I must not fail, said the tiny snail. So the tiny snail wants to help the big whale. Let's see what she's going to do. This is the bell on the school in the bay. Bell, campanello. Ringing the children in from their play. This is the teacher holding her chalk, telling the class, sit straight, don't talk. This is the board as black as soot, board, lavagna. And this is the snail with the itchy foot. A snail, a snail! The teacher turns pale. Look, say the children, it's leaving a trail. This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail saying, save the whale, salvare la balena. These are the children running fast from school, fetching the firemen, digging a pool, squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. This is the tide coming into the bay, and these are the villagers shouting hooray as the whale and the snail travel safely away. So the little snail saved the whale. Back to the dock and the flock on the rock, who said, oh, how time's flown, and haven't you grown? And the whale and the snail told their wonderful tale of shimmering ice and coral caves, and shooting stars and enormous waves, and of how the snail, so small and frail, with her looping, curling, silvery trail, saved the life of the humpback whale. Then the humpback whale held out his tail, and on crawled snail after snail after snail. And they sang to the sea as they all set sail. on the tail of the grey-blue humpback whale. The end. Did you enjoy the story? I sure did, and I learned that no matter how small we are, we can always make a big difference. All we have to do is try. That's all for now. See you next time. Bye.